Welcome to the GCN Tech Clinic, where Alex and I aim to answer your bike, tech and maintenance related questions. As ever, you can submit your questions down below in the comments section using the hashtag AskGCNTech, and we'll do our best to answer as many of them as possible
within the allotted time.
Who's first?
Adam Sirit 7509. I'm suffering with a problem. I'm certain all cyclists are battering. The age-old sweat dripping into the glasses moment. It seems to happen so early on in my rides, and I end up not being able to see. I'm a relatively heavy sweater, but I can't believe that other cyclists are tolerating this. Is there any hot tech that could help? Are there strategies or personal experiences I can learn from? Or am I just overtaking my helmet to squash the pad at the front?
Well, do you know what heavy sweating is a sign of? Form.
Is it? Metabolism's fired up.
Good cooling. No, that's how, it means if you're better at cooling yourself, then you're good.
First thing that springs to my mind, right, is that the pads on your helmet are probably seen better days and they're not actually able to absorb any sweat and dissipate it off out to the sides.
There's that. I think the other thing is that it's the type of glasses that you're using. So I've had this issue as well, but certain glasses I find that, especially as I've got older, my eyebrows have become
a bit bushier.
Fuller, more bushy, and so then when your eyebrows are making contact with the glass,
you have to shave your eyebrows off, no?
Trim them. You have to trim them.
Oh, trim them.
So you get eyebrows making contact with the glass, then that acts as like a conduit to get sweat onto the glass. So certain glasses as well won't touch your eyebrows and make contact with them as well. So it's kind of like that, really. It's a bit of try some glasses on in a shop or something and find some that fit you better, maybe.
Definitely the most common issue for me causing that is the helmet pad, but I think I like the glasses suggestion as well. There you go. Or just ask the barber next time you get a haircut, trim the old eyebrows a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Easy. Over to you, next question.
Jonathan Munger says, what's the best way to keep Aero socks from slipping down to your ankles?
Shall I say what I used to use when I was racing all the time? Was this little aerosol can. I can't even remember the name of the brand, but it's pre-tape spray. And it's the stuff that physios use to spray onto your skin before then putting like KT tape on. And it basically makes anything stick to your skin.
Really?
And it is actually a real pain to get off, but your socks stay in place.
So something I've used as a hack, hairspray.
Hairspray, yeah.
Similar deal.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that this was more of a problem with like sort of Gen 1 Aero socks used to suffer from this problem. Like as I've started to use like more recent Aero socks, they've been addressing this issue. Yeah. It still can happen, but the newer ones that have sort of come out in the last year or so tend to be far better at this. And they tend to stand up on their own accord.
Yeah. Well, there you go. TR Beyond says, silly question. What a way to start your question. What's the downside of
sell it,
having headset bearing that isn't smooth? Mine feels not great when I'm still and then moving the wheel side to side, but I don't even notice it when I'm riding. It's actually a really good point. Someone asked me this the other day as I was talking about headset bearings, and essentially, if everything on your bike is in good working order, it should all run and work smoothly. Now, obviously, there's going to be a sliding scale of a point when your headset bearings go from being a little bit rough, get worse and worse and worse. And generally speaking, as long as they're not restricting the movement of your steering, it's not going to be an issue. The main thing will come is when the headset bearings are so badly corroded that they stop the bearing operating as a bearing and it just turns the whole race in the frame, and then that's like a big nightmare because you're potentially going to ruin your frame like ASAP. Just like small nuances basically. So.
Or if a bearing gets really, really, really corroded, it can collapse.
Actually, that's the worst case scenario because then you're potentially going to crash in quite a big way.
Okay. Doug Regular sent a question and he said, hello, I'm old people.
Good pause there.
Yeah, and I couldn't figure out how to do the Ask GCN thing. So I thought I'd message here on Facebook. I live in Nova Scotia, Canada, and recently retired from a 35-year career as a cartographer. I've been to Europe a number of times, but I wish to attend my first cycling conference. What bike conference do you folks recommend? Thanks. P.S. Should have retired 35 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a long time making maps.
That is so. I'm pleased you referenced that. Helped me out there 'cause I didn't know what cartographer was. Thanks. Really got my back there. Well, we're in the fortunate position of having visited loads of different bike shows or conferences. Eurobike is like probably one of the biggest things, but I wouldn't necessarily say it would be the first place I would suggest people go and visit.
No. I would say, I think the coolest, funnest thing to go to, because the other thing is as well, is like shows like Taipei and Eurobike and that sort of thing, I feel that they're a bigger deal for industry.
Yeah, rather than like members of the public.
Yeah, it's like B2B.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas I think as a member of the public, I think something like the Rouleur show in London, which happens in mid-November, is blooming great. Because there's, you know, there'll be like famous riders there and people like that and experts in stuff. And you can be much more like hands-on with the brands and product there and like chat to people, and you can have a beer while you're doing it. And it's kind of just, I think that's a more fun environment.
More accessible.
For the public,
Yeah. It's
more intimate as well. It's cool.
I mean, he's referenced Europe here, but if we ignore the Europe element, I would say going out to something like Sea Otter.
Yeah, because you can do a race as well.
There's like all the events and activities on, real like hype and atmosphere going on, as well as all the cool brand stuff. So there you go.
Well, if you do make it over to Rouleur this year, we'll probably be there.
Yeah.
On the Thursday. So
you love
come
going
say
to
hi.
Rouleur, don't you? You always have a couple of mineral waters as well.
Yeah. Got to stay lubricated.
Yeah, all that. At Kind of Hero, I'm a 1.95 centimetre, 116 kilogram kind of guy. Recently purchased Canyon Grail CF SLX XL frame by Canyon's advice before purchasing. I am on the limit of Canyon's chart for kilograms of the bike. Since then, I've been doing some research, and it turns out that being heavy is perhaps not the best idea on an all-carbon bike. My question is, did I make a very expensive mistake? Thanks. No, I don't think you did make an expensive mistake. The whole point of a maximum weight limit is that up to this weight limit, you're all good to go. And provided you're not going to have absolutely masses of stuff you're carrying with you, you shouldn't have any problems at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, different materials and properties of things lend themselves to different characteristics, but I don't think you got even the slightest of worries.
Well, I mean, I think the fact that you've got a gravel bike is a good thing as well. Because the gravel bikes are generally built a bit stronger and a bit tougher to deal with a bit more. So, I think that's good.
Yeah. As I say, all I would be mindful of is if you're going to load your bike up with tons of stuff, then you're going to start to get...
Connor.
Yeah, Connor does that all the time. Okay, over to you. Next question.
It's your girl Naomi said, I used an old pump that had been left outside and it's partly filled my tyres with water.
Oh no.
Is this a big issue and what should I do? Thanks, love the show.
I don't think it's a big issue. It's not ideal, is it?
Yeah. They're going to slosh around a bit.
So you're just going to slosh around. I'm waiting for you to somehow reference this into like wheel balancing terminology.
Well, it says your wheels are a centrifuge, so the wheel, it's just like having sealant in there. It'll centrifuge.
It'll distribute.
As soon as the wheel's in motion, it'll...
Yeah. I'll tell you what I would do in this situation. I would take my inner tubes out of the bike and then carefully roll them up as if you were getting all the air out, because at that time you're also going to get all the water out.
Yeah, you could do that.
Simple. Okay, last one is from
Kamikaze Man.
Kamikaze Man, thanks, save me that.
What I'd like to know is whether 3D printed saddles have increased wear and tear effect on your bib short gusset. What a word that is.
Yeah.
Gusset.
Yeah.
Due to the nature of the print and the filament used versus smooth texture of traditional saddle materials. Because we all know bibs are blooming expensive.
How's your gusset? Any additional wear using a 3D printed saddle?
So personally, I've not experienced additional gusset wear when using a 3D printed saddle. However, I've tried the 3D printed saddles, and I personally, and it is the personal thing.
Totally personal for saddles.
I prefer the non 3D printed one.
I'm going to say the total opposite to you. I get on really well and I like the 3D printed covers because I find that it sort of helps hold me in place a bit on the saddle.
What I have seen though is with some of my riding buddies.
Yeah.
Like one of them had a 3D printed saddle, and he did think it was wearing his shorts a bit more.
Well, that's an interesting point. I'm pleased to hear someone offering that thought, because in my experience, it hasn't been noticeable in any way. But if other people have, it's something that maybe people have got to consider.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just think, the amount of wear that's going to go on your gusset is not going to be super important. I think
How
your
many
shorts
times can we say gusset?
a few more times.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never worn the gusset of a short out.
You're not?
No. Not,
I've not actually. No, I think other areas have worn out before that.
Yeah. Okay, right. Should we call it a day there?
Yeah. I think generally like the lycra would fade and the things like that.
Yeah, I think there's other elements of the short that are becoming worn out before the gusset from 3D printed saddles.
Yeah.
Yeah. As always, I say every single week, if we haven't answered your question, I apologise, but be persistent, put it in the comments section down below, and we'll get to it in the coming weeks. Right, we're out of here. Love you, bye. One for luck, gusset.